Hello! Okay, so today I'm going to share a very vulnerable and super weird story with you that I like. Very vulnerable, and I had to heal a lot of trauma first before I could share this. And yesterday I had a full circle moment about this. I was okay. I'm going to. This is the time to share it now, and it's super funny. It's super hilarious, and if you are interested in energy work, or if you're a healer, intuitive, mystic, or just interested in it, then you can keep on watching this. And especially if you are someone who has a magic wand, or if you have like a shamanic wand, then this story is for you. Because this is like a message from the chickens. The chickens have a message for you. And it's very important. Hey Leo! How are you? So this story is about how the chickens started talking to me when I was in Australia 4 or 5 years ago. I went to Australia, I met my twin flame there, and it was really intense. We broke up, and then I started living at a farmer's place, like in a caravan next to the forest, in nature. And it was in a place in Australia where there's like a vortex energy. So the Aboriginals used to go there when they needed healing. And you can't leave until you're healed, and you can only like, and if you're healed, you'll be thrown out and you can't stay there. So I was in that place, and it's also that the veil between the 3D reality and the etheric energy realms is very thin. So I had like this spiritual like intervention or spiritual crisis, where I started like seeing like letters in nature and words, and like I had like a really clear contact with my spirit guides, and the whole nature started talking to me. Oh, Luda says I'm okay. I'm glad you're okay. And so nature started talking to me, and the chickens started talking to me. So the chickens started guiding me and telling me what to do. Like they told me when to eat, when to sleep, when to hide, when I was safe, when I had to shut my mouth and be quiet. And I didn't really understand back then, but later on I found out like that I was being stalked. So they were guiding me to my safety. And so I was in a place of like, what the fuck am I now? You know, taking orders from chickens? What is this bullshit? And then at that moment, at that moment, I like a book fell out of the farmer's bookcase. And it was a book about chickens. And it fell, I opened it on a page that said, "Are the chickens talking to you?" And it had a little like story of how chickens actually talk to humans in a spiritual way. So I was like, okay, I'm not going crazy. I have to listen to the chickens. And then up until yesterday, everything that the chickens told me to do made so much sense. They showed me in a way of like first looking me in the eye like that, and then doing something like a pattern, and then looking me again, and then doing the pattern over again, and then looking again, and then doing the pattern, and then until I listened and I got the message, then they stopped doing that pattern. So they started, hiding themselves, or eating, or sleeping in the middle of the day, or whatever. And then there was this one thing that they did that up until yesterday I didn't understand what it was. And during this time, like, it wasn't only the chickens started talking to me, like I had like this huge spiritual crisis. So I had like time travel experiences and many more other things. So I knew also that not everything was logical and linear like that. So there was this one thing the chickens did that I just didn't understand what it meant. So a few months ago, I was like, okay, great. Like, I understand now everything from like this perspective I'm at now. I understand what was happening. I understand how nature was guiding me into my own safety. But only for that one thing the chickens did, I'm like, what the fuck was that all about? So I kind of like asked my guides for clarity on that. And the thing that the chickens did was they like started walking with a stick, like a little stick or branch sticked on their ass, and then wiggling, walking with that stick on their ass, and then looking at me, and then walking again. And I was like, well, you know, whatever, you're just a stick, you know, got sticked on your ass, like no big deal. And then another chicken came who did the same thing and started looking at me like that, and then walked with the stick. And then another chicken came, and then another chicken came, and I was like, okay, so this is a message for me, like, but I just don't get the fucking message. What is this all about? So this was like 4.5 years ago or 5 years ago. But 2 years ago, I found out that if you have a crystal like this, and you put it on the bottom of your tailbone, then the energy of the crystal goes into your whole spine, and then it like can clean like all your chakras and aligns all your chakras, and you get like a power boost from it. I found that out 2 years ago, and then yesterday I was playing with my magic wand. So maybe if you are on your healing journey, or if you are interested in working with energy, you might have made like a magic wand with crystals, or maybe you have a shamanic wand, you know, that you use to help also on your healing journey with spirit animals on it and crystals. And if you have one of those, because I have one, and yesterday I wasn't feeling so well, and I was playing with my shamanic wand, and then the chickens came and told me, wanted to ass, wanted to ass, and I'm like, oh my god, this is what they meant. So I put like my shamanic wand, which has like a big crystal on top, I put it on my ass, like on the bottom of my tailbone, and I felt like super aligned, so much energy, clear, like aligning my chakras, clearing all the things. So I was like, okay, wow, this is so cool. I need to share this message. I need to share this story. So it's a message from the chickens to use your magic wand. Stick it on the bottom of your tailbone, not in your ass, but on the bottom of your tailbone, to get benefits from it, like really great benefits from it. So that was my story for today, and yeah, I'm also starting the Key to Alice's Little Door, which is a 3-week program and experience where we're diving deep into the 7 principles of creation. Because of this experience, like, I had to do so much healing work, and still doing, of course, never ends. But I learned so much about the principles of nature, laws of nature, the principles of creation, and the creation cycles. And it's so, like, because I was like, in that moment when the chicken started talking to me, it was such a weird experience for me that I was like, okay, you know what? I'm Alice in Wonderland, and I'm staying curious about what's happening here. And that helped me really through it. So this, the Key to Alice's Little Door is like this Alice experience where we dive deep into in these principles, so that you can have more conscious awareness of your creation, your future, so that you can go through that little door, because that's why Alice wanted to go through that little door, because that little door has this beautiful garden behind it, which is like symbolism for paradise or the Garden of Eden. And Alice had to go through so much to get there, and she eventually gets there. And it helps so much when you understand deeper these principles, because it's like these principles are so neutral and technical, and that is just gives so much perspective of where you do have power and where you don't. Understanding these laws, you understand where you have power and where you don't, and that just really, really helps. So I'm so excited to do this. We're starting today. So if you want to join that, you can find the link in my bio. And I also have been sharing these 7 riddles. Maybe you've seen them. You can find them on my profile. And if you solve the riddles and you put the blue letters next to each other, you can find a password. And if you can use that password to get 15% discount on the program, which is $222. It's very affordable for the deep amount of value and like, yeah, just value you get from it that really helps you in finding your little door and your paradise. Because I totally believe that we energy workers and healers and coaches, we're really, really needed this time. We really need to, work together and stand in our power, because there's so much energy that needs to be shifted and need to be worked with, so that we get way more harmony and we can live more in harmony with nature as well. So really understanding these principles is just really helped me a lot. Really helped me so much. So that's about that. I hope you enjoyed this little story and the tip. Have a beautiful day or evening, depending where you are. Bye!